Hello and welcome to the Star Teacher, Star Student Awards for the Class of 2020 here on Channel 21. I'm Todd Hagans. This year's ceremony looks a bit different. Because of the coronavirus pandemic, we were not able to come together at the Schill Museum for our traditional ceremony. So we have created this video program to recognize our Star students and Star teachers for 2020. Again this year, the Gaston Gazette is partnering with Gaston County Schools to make this recognition possible, and we would like to express our appreciation to Lucy Talley, publisher of the Gazette, for supporting this event again this year. To offer greetings on behalf of the Gaston County Board of Education, I am delighted to introduce our chairman, Mr. Brent Moore.
Hello, I'm Brent Moore, and it is a pleasure to congratulate our Star students in the class of 2020 as we recognize our Star teachers. Each Star student being honored during the program selected the teacher who has had the greatest influence on his or her life. The teachers being recognized are among the best of the best in Gaston County Schools. They truly are Star teachers who work diligently every day to make a difference. To each of the students and teachers being recognized, the Board of Education commends you and salutes you on a job well done. Congratulations to this year's honorees.
Now, it is a pleasure to introduce our Superintendent of Schools, Dr. W. Jeffrey Booker.
Thank you for taking the time to watch this special program here on Channel 21 that recognizes our Star teachers and Star students. Our Star students shine brightly in the class of 2020. They have accomplished many outstanding achievements both inside and outside the classroom. The teachers being honored were selected for being a star in the eyes of the people who are most affected by their work, their students. I'm sure that our Star teachers would also tell you that these students have affected their lives too. For it has been said that teachers also learn from their students. The students' academic records are incredible. Their leadership in extracurricular activities is without equal, and their service to the community is remarkable. They have received numerous awards and accolades during their high school career, and without question, they are our stars for a better tomorrow. Albert Einstein said, "It is the supreme art of the teacher to awaken joy in creative expression and knowledge." Our Star students will be the first to tell you that this statement reflects the influence of their Star teacher on their educational career and life. These great teachers have helped these students and numerous others in their classrooms to be successful and ready for the challenges and opportunities they will face in college and beyond. The Star teachers have awakened in their students the joy of gaining the knowledge, skills, creativity, courage, and self-confidence needed to reach their fullest potential. They inspired these students and countless other students to be the best they can be. We are extremely proud of our Star students, and we are pleased to recognize their Star teachers during this program. Before we meet our Star students and Star teachers for 2020, I would like to say thank you to the Gaston Gazette for sponsoring this special program. And now it is time to hear from our Star students and Star teachers.
Thank you, Superintendent Booker. We are ready to begin our presentation. The Star student from East Gaston High School is Clara Cobb. She plans to attend Mississippi State University to major in agricultural engineering. Her Star teacher is Brian Johnson, who teaches biology and wildlife and ecology at East Gaston High School.
Thank you. My name is Clara Cobb, and Mr. Brian Johnson has had a huge impact on my life, both in and outside of the classroom. I had Mr. Johnson my sophomore year for honors biology and again my junior year for AP biology. His vast knowledge of the subject and willingness to learn alongside his classes helped me excel in both courses. Though I enjoyed his classes very much, he always offered a challenge, and we, his students, were never allowed to take the easy way out. It was because of Mr. Johnson that I have chosen to pursue a career in the science department, as I plan on majoring in agricultural engineering. He freely gave up his own time and breaks for the good of his students. The hands-on experiences he provided fueled my love of the subject, and they never would have been possible without his leadership and commitment to his profession. Outside of the classroom, Mr. Johnson has been my student council advisor for the past 2 years. Not only does he demonstrate pride in our school, but he encourages us to step out of our comfort zones and lead by example in a world in which people strive to fit in. Mr. Johnson inspired us to take full advantage of the opportunities presented to us and challenged us to never take opportunities for granted. As a student whose senior year academic, athletic, and social experiences have been suddenly and unexpectedly stripped away, I can appreciate the advice he gave and the confidence he instilled in me to engage in the opportunities he oftentimes provided for me. I am beyond grateful for such a caring teacher and friend. I now introduce to you one of my favorite teachers, Mr. Brian Johnson.
Well, can I get a tissue before I start? Thank you, Clara. First, I would like to thank Clara for being such an amazing student and person. To think that I had even a modicum of influence on your educational journey just warms my heart. There are several things that I'm acutely aware of as a science educator. One, but not only, is the representation of women in the STEM fields. As late as this past decade, women only made up 20% of all workers in these fields. There has been a glimmer of hope as the percentage of biological sciences has risen up to 48% during the same time. However, this is only one area in all of the STEM fields of study. I'm so happy that today we have the opportunity to celebrate Clara and her intent to study agricultural engineering. My hope is that the combination of her leadership skills and her passion for learning will inspire future generations of women scientists. As a biologist, it is painfully obvious that diversity is key to the success of any species, and so it is too with the STEM fields. Mae Jemison, the first female African-American astronaut, who's also a chemist and a biologist, among other things, once said, "Don't let anyone rob you of your imagination, your creativity, or your curiosity. It is your place in the world. It is your life. Go and do all you can with it and make it the life you want to live." I can't think of better words of advice for Clara, a creative, curious, and imaginative young woman who has the whole world in front of her. Congratulations, Clara.
The star student from the Gaston Early College High School is Dylan Cable. He plans to attend UNC Chapel Hill to major in business. His star teacher is Lauren Dixon, who teaches biology, physical science, and forensic science at the Gaston Early College High School.
I would like to thank you very much for making me this year's star student. I'm very proud to receive this honor. Choosing one teacher at Gaston Early College High School who truly exemplifies the meaning of the school's motto, "Learn, Lead, Live," was an easy task. Although all teachers at Gaston Early College High School fit this criteria, one name in particular fits out to me, Miss Dixon. Each and every day she ensures that she uses her classes to teach students life lessons, all while learning some biology and chemistry along the way. She carries out the school motto perfectly as she shows students how to learn in engaging ways in the classroom, become leaders by gaining knowledge, and ultimately apply these lessons in their own lives. When I had Miss Dixon during 9th and 10th grade, I was shy and afraid to ask questions or get involved. And I'm a great product of her teaching style because as a result of having her as a teacher, not only did I understand the material, but I also used the confidence that I gained from her class to help me get involved at school and in the community. She helped me become engaged in class, and as a result, I was more confident in myself and my own abilities. She helped me break out of my shell and inspire me to grow into the leader that I feel like I've become today. I have Miss Dixon to thank for so many things, helping me break out of my shell, getting me involved with the school's beta club, supporting my family, effortlessly providing support to ensure my success, helping me grow into the student and person I am today. So thank you, Miss Dixon. Thank you for teaching me science. Thank you for helping me get involved. And most importantly, thank you for being more than just a school teacher. There are a lot of outstanding teachers in this world, but you just do just more than teach. You change lives.
Thank you, Dylan. It is certainly an honor to be recognized by someone I work for, not just the folks I work with. like so many teachers, I face an internal struggle every day and wonder whether or not I do a good enough job. I look across my classroom at all the sweet faces, and it often catches me off guard because I'll see them 15, 20 years down the road. But then in a split second, I will see all the faces of all the students I've ever taught before. And I start to think about what I want this moment in my classroom right now to be about, and what I want the lesson to be. And early on, I realized that the idea that's most central to my belief system as a teacher is the understanding that students learn much more from who I am than from the curriculum I teach. It's often said that the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, and when I think of Dylan, I immediately think of his mother. I taught the tree and I taught the apple. 25 years ago, Dylan's mom, Brandy, walked into my classroom as a shy, timid freshman. And 5 years ago, she brought Dylan into my classroom at Gaston Early College as a shy, timid freshman. He was eager and wanted to learn, but in an unfamiliar setting. He had taken a chance. And Dylan, you left the familiarity of the Stanley school system and came to Gaston Early College to take advantage of the advantage. And as a student, as a freshman, he was eager to learn, but Dylan often answered with a really quiet, timid, sort of hesitant, but gave the right answer. So I immediately said, "Great answer. Now say it again. This time be confident." And then again as a sophomore, because I have the honor to get to loop with my students sometimes. He was in biology with me and academically was more confident, but was struggling with asserting leadership. That year brought about his induction to Beta Club, which I helped sponsor, and that in turn led to involvement with our school student council, as well as organizations on the college campus and even in our community. 2 summers ago, Dylan's mom was diagnosed with inflammatory breast cancer, and having served as both her supporter and caretaker, Dylan sought to become an agent of change and wanted to honor his mom and other cancer patients. He applied for a position on the Youth Advisory Board of Cancer Services, and I remember during that time him coming to me and having lots of conversations about what he was doing. He always wanted to make sure his information was correct, that it was relevant, that it was impactful. He was working at the time on a campaign that would educate young people about the health consequences of vaping. And I was really proud to see that shy, timid freshman become a junior at that point, who was working so diligently and using what was a family setback as an opportunity to grow and shape our community. Dylan, you have taken full advantage of the advantage. You were selected as star student for our school because of your academic accomplishments, but there's so much more to you than that. I could tell people all day long that you have a great mind because you do, that you have a kind heart and a generous spirit because you certainly do, and that you are a leader among your peers. But Dylan, you always want to grow. You always want to do better. You always want to learn more, and that is what sets you apart. You look for opportunities to push yourself while also serving others. I guess anyone who knows me can attest to the fact that my students are my people. I'm called Mama Dixon on any given day by any number of students, and Dylan almost exclusively calls me that. You know, some people would be taken back by it, but I don't mind because, you know, we're a family in my classroom. My classroom's often referred to as the living room because it's just a safe space, a comfortable space. It's free from judgment, and we can express ideas and challenge our thoughts. We celebrate success and work through setbacks. We can be real and we can grow. So Dylan, you are a fantastic and delightful young man, an absolute joy to work with. It's been a privilege to be called your teacher. So thank you for this recognition, but more importantly, thank you for allowing yourself to be real and for growing into the person our world needs right now. You make me proud and I love you.
The star student from Ashbrook High School is Haley Clark. She plans to attend Appalachian State University to major in environmental science. Her star teacher is Jeffrey Guzakis, who teaches math and statistics at Ashbrook High School.
Hello everyone, my name is Haley Clark, and I'm exhilarated to be honored as this year's star student from Ashbrook High School. Having the opportunity to honor one of my teachers is both exciting and daunting. How was I to ever choose? I admit it was a difficult decision, but I soon realized who deserved the recognition for his hard work and dedication to his students. The star teacher in my life is Mr. Gazakis. First semester, first period, freshman year, Mr. G was the first teacher I had at Ashbrook. He provided me with the essential building blocks to allow me to excel in my math classes. Mr. G has also taught me the importance of consistent work ethic. No matter the day or the circumstance, he gives his class periods his all and expects the same in return. His steady resolve inspires me to take responsibility for my education. Mr. G's passion for mathematics is infectious. He refuses to leave explanations to a mere because that's how it's done. Book smarts mean little without application. Rather than simply memorizing formulas, which you will still do, of course, Mr. G strives to help his students understand the fundamentals behind concepts. From Math 2 to statistics, his excitements toward the topics make me look forward to the class. I previously scorned the idea of taking statistics, but now I hope to pursue it as a major, or at least a minor. I cannot express my gratitude for everything Mr. Gazakis has done over the past 4 years. I hope honoring him as Ashbrook's star teacher this year will express my gratitude in some small way. Thank you, Mr. G.
Oh, thank you, Haley. Wow, what an honor it is to receive the Star Teacher Award for Ashbrook High School, and what makes it that much better is that it's coming from Haley Clark. My wife, who also teaches at Ashbrook, and I just absolutely adore her. We've said to each other before that we want our two daughters to grow up to be just like her, and it's because she's got it all. Haley is smart, she's kind, funny, artistic, athletic, and determined. It is difficult to find all of those encompassing, that all-encompassing combination in any one individual, but that is what has brought us all here today. I taught Haley Math 2 and AP Statistics. Her grades were, of course, stellar, as all STAR students are, but it was how she achieved them that separates her from the pack. She was a model of consistency in her work. She made connections to previous material and other subjects, and wasn't afraid to participate in asking questions and giving answers. She always took an active role in her learning, which is why you can probably guess how she did on the AP exam. Maybe the most impressive aspect is that she was doing all of it whilst being the only junior in an otherwise senior filled AP Statistics class. Now that she's taking calculus, I don't get to work with her on a daily basis, but you can bet we both felt lucky when I got to watch her class on an ACT day. We could have just passed the time, but who in their right mind misses the chance to teach implicit differentiation to Haley and her friends? Not this guy. All right, Haley's intelligence is only outpaced by her kindness. She was always willing to help her classmates with difficult content. It made her happy to see others succeed. As the co-president of the Civinettes Club, I've seen her organize events to benefit Ashbrook, its students, and our community. At these events like campus cleanups, our community trunk or treat, the painting of our female restrooms, and others, she interacts just the same with her peers as she does with those that she does not know as well, with grace and charm. Her humor is usually self-deprecating, never at another's expense. Plus, she gets all of my math jokes and will at least give me a sarcastic "badooch" if one doesn't quite hit. Those qualities are all reflected in Haley's art. The first time I saw some of her artsy side was when we had a teacher and family fun event at school on a Saturday. There were bounce houses, a DJ, cornhole, and other activities set up for the families to enjoy. Haley was working the face paint booth and effortlessly painted some whimsical floral designs on my two daughters' faces that looked beautiful. Since then, I've seen more of her art, including backdrops for the Wavelength Studio, artwork for plays and pageants, a cool though underappreciated design for our 2020 senior t-shirt, and she made her own formal wear for the 2019 Miss Ashbrook pageant. I mean, come on. If that wasn't enough, she recently won the City of Gastonia John C. Biggers Award for her piece, Stream of Consciousness. Now, Haley's athleticism is probably not what she's known for, but it's there nonetheless, whether she will admit to it or not. She was a steady contributor to our cross-country, cheer, and track teams early on in high school, and I believe also swam for us too. Haley, no, well, Haley never won any MVPs, but she had plenty of value on those teams as one you could always count on to give her all, even in those grueling sports, counting cheer as well as a grueling sport. She was always someone other teammates could look at for inspiration, to keep going or for a word of encouragement. And that leads me to my closing, which is how determined Haley Clark is. Her work ethic, her drive to be her best comes from a strong foundation, for which I thank her family. AP Stats is hard. Cross country is hard. Leading a club and making beautiful art takes a lot of dedicated time. You can't be successful at one of them, let alone all of them, without a lot of determination, which Haley has in spades. I believe she wants to major in environmental science and minor in statistics, so please don't worry about any future ills that may befall our world. Once we get Haley Clark on the case, finding a solution is just a matter of time. I am so proud of you, Haley Clark, and always remember, let your character be your center, because your decisions shape your life. Spread out to new horizons and be a positive outlier for right.
Thank you so much, Mr. G.
The star student from Cherryville High School is Avery Grace Walker. She plans to attend UNC Chapel Hill to major in nursing. Her star teacher is Kiersten Hauser, who teaches English and theater arts at Cherryville High School.
Thank you so much for this opportunity. Here's my essay. Many people see teachers as one who might just teach a subject. However, they're much more than that. They work behind the scenes harder than just about any other profession and can be seen by most students as being a superhero. Miss Hauser is one of those teachers who isn't just a teacher, but is a superhero. It's hard enough having to deal with teenagers every single day because, believe me when I say, I know we're pretty hard to handle. She comes prepared to school every day and never forgets a positive attitude. I only had Miss Hauser for one semester of AP English, but I've known her much longer than just 90 days of instruction. Back in her high school days, she played soccer with my sister. I always admired the way she played because she took every game like it'd be her last. Maybe it was because she told me I would be a pro one day, but I always looked up to her and still do today. There was never a dull moment in her classes. Every day the class was either arguing, debating, or groaning because of a possible pop quiz or a book we had been reading. I definitely enjoyed her being my teacher, but those, however, I would never forgive her for giving them to us. She always told us that grades shouldn't worry us. We needed to be focused on learning more than receiving a grade. Although that class was pretty difficult, she never let us walk through that door unless we were comfortable and understood. 300 words wouldn't be enough to explain what all Miss Hauser means to me, but I guess I can sum it up in one sentence. She means the most to me, and I know she'll never let me down.
It's so precious. It makes me want to cry. I have been a teacher at Cherryville High School for 4 years now. Never have I felt so honored as I do right now. I've taught students in English, drama, and creative writing, and there are these incredible little moments in this profession, moments only understood by how they'll never leave your memory. The impact young people have on our lives is profound and beautiful. It's why I teach. This award for me is one of those things, one of those moments that I'll never forget. So let me start by saying, Avery Grace, I go to work each day because of students like you. I stay in the school building planning into the late hours of night for students like you. I have purpose in my career due to students like you. I have watched you grow into a thoughtful and caring individual, a creative force who sticks to her values and makes sure to include everyone in every endeavor she puts herself to work on. A friend to all, Avery Grace has never had a negative thing to say about anyone or anything. She has a wonderful gift of seeing everything in a positive way, and she sees the beauty in those around her. Even when she feels the inevitable tug of hardship in her own life, she never uses it as an excuse or as a reason to be negative. She makes me laugh. Her sense can turn a bad day into a good one, and there were many days she turned my own attitude around. This spirit of hers is why her peers voted her onto the homecoming court. It's why she has no enemies. It's why everyone smiles when you mention her name, parents, students, teachers alike. In class, her eagerness to learn was a delight, and that perspective rubbed off on her peers. In AP English 11, she worked with her classmates to share kindness with those in the community. They performed profound acts of charity and outreach to those who were less fortunate. These memories, beyond any test score or mastery of academic skill, were my proudest moments. In sports, she's a leader. According to one coach, she never let anyone get down on themselves. She saw when someone was struggling and made sure to encourage them until they believed in themselves. Even when they weren't lucky enough to win games, she always congratulated her teammates and urged them to keep their heads up. These qualities are what have driven her and what will continue to drive her to success at Chapel Hill and in any future endeavor. It is with Avery Grace's great heart, drive, determination, and charisma that we all derive hope. Hope for a better career, a better classroom experience for ourselves and for all students. Hope that we will have strong leaders in our country. Hope that her ultimate possession of humility and respect will continue to permeate our world. I would ask Avery Grace to share this enthusiasm, but she doesn't have to. Spend one day with her and you'll understand. We often discuss in class some of the best wisdom I came to learn in my own life, which comes from the late Maya Angelou. Be a rainbow in someone else's cloud. Avery Grace took that literally. Thank you so much, Avery Grace, for this great honor. I'm so happy our paths crossed.
The star student from Bessemer City High School is Savannah LeCount. She plans to attend Cleveland Community College to major in nursing. Her star teacher is Susan Carpenter, who teaches health science and nursing fundamentals at Bessemer City High School.
Thank you so much for choosing me to be the star student. My star teacher is Miss Carpenter. I have had the honor of having Miss Carpenter as my health science teacher for the past 3 years. She has taught me so much, and I will never be able to repay her for everything that she has given me. She is one of the sweetest, most down-to-earth people that I have ever met. If it says anything about her character, she received this award last year as well. She is definitely a favorite at Bessemer City High School. She makes us all laugh every day, whether it is her trying to figure out how to work her computer or correcting us if we're wrong. Although this year did not go as we wanted it to, she did everything in her power to help us succeed and to continue our learning. She always tells us about her past experiences working as a nurse to help us remember some of the material. She has so many funny stories about people she has met down the road. Miss Carpenter has guided me and helped me find what I love to do. Thanks to her, I now know that I want to pursue a career in nursing. I wish that I could have the time back that I missed due to COVID-19 so that I could spend more time with her, but I have now learned not to take anything for granted. Her family is very lucky to have someone like her, as well as I, to have had her as my teacher. I will surely miss you, Miss Carpenter, and I can't think of anyone else that deserves this award more than you.
Thank you, Savannah. Thank you. I really am privileged to be Savannah's star teacher, and I appreciate this opportunity to say a few words about Savannah. As Savannah said, for the past 3 years we've been together. I've had the privilege of teaching her in the health science pathway at Bessemer City High School. Savannah is a unique student in so many ways. During the first class she took, I realized she had a passion for learning. Her curiosity and her determination to achieve her goals were sincere. She had questions that were very thoughtful, and she was quick to apply critical thinking skills. I knew right away Savannah would have a great future. Savannah's uniqueness surpasses her academic ability, though. She has a contagious smile and a willingness to help others. She's kind and compassionate toward others as well. All of these traits assure me that she's going to be a wonderful healthcare professional. In class, we were well into performing our skill checkoffs to get ready to go to clinical when the harsh reality of COVID-19 was upon us and school was closed. I remember well the pride Savannah took while practicing her skills. She would be meticulous to make sure everything was in order before attempting to do the skill checkoffs. So I would not bonk her or say, well, you're going to have to start over. Okay, that's a little joke with us in the classroom. But Savannah, she wanted to be competent in her skills so she could care for her future patients. There are many challenges that we're going to face in the future in healthcare and in society as general as we recover from this pandemic. But knowing that there are young people like Savannah who will step up and meet the challenges is a reassuring promise for the future. Many times when folks ask me why I teach, the answer is simple. I get the reward of seeing a student like Savannah grow and flourish, and knowing that students like Savannah are going to be well-trained, competent, trustworthy, caring people who are going to take care of us in the future and take care of me as I need help care in the future. So thank you, Savannah. I wish you all the best.
Thank you, Ms. Carpenter.
The star student from Forest View High School is Sophie Jers. She plans to attend UNC Chapel Hill, and her major is undecided at this time. Her star teacher is Haley Marr, who teaches biology and ecology at Forest View High School.
Thank you so much for this opportunity. I am grateful that numerous teachers have greatly influenced my educational journey. Haley Marr leads this group. AP Biology, a course that Ms. Marr would describe as a beast, turned into a class of discovery, investigation, and innovation thanks to her energetic teaching. A perfect example of her continued passion for teaching science occurred last year when Ms. Marr took a small group of AP Bio students on a trip to Oak Island for field studies. I got to know Ms. Marr well during this trip. We spent early mornings dissecting squids and late nights catching crabs. Ms. Marr taught me that science is exciting and is interwoven with everything life has to offer. Ms. Marr is also like a car with no brakes. She never stops. At any given moment, she could be grading a million papers, helping a student understand biodiversity, giving advice to someone writing an AP project question, and planning a lab for her next period. She never fails to amaze me with all of the work she does for our school. I am inspired greatly to make as much as an impact in the career I pursue as Ms. Marr does in her teaching. An average teacher will inspire a student to excel intellectually, but an outstanding teacher will prepare their students to be good people. Ms. Marr talks with her students truthfully and supports them to think about each decision they make wholeheartedly. She cares about our mental health and emotional health and tries hard to always relate to us, which makes her a comfortable and inviting person to talk to. Ms. Marr has taught me to understand complex biological topics like epigenetics, but more importantly, has exemplified being a caring, kind person. She stimulates thoughts, motivates dreams, and affects the lives of students like me positively every day.
Wow. Wow, Sophie, oh my gosh, this means so much coming from you. It truly does. And I've been thinking about you. You've been on my mind so much. And so I did jot some things down, but the first thing that comes to my brain is you are the quintessential star student. I want you to know that. You embody the actual essence of this award. I want you to know that. It comes through in your smile. It comes through in your mannerisms. It comes through in your gestures. It meant so much to me. I don't know if you'll ever know that, so I'm going to tell you. Sophie was part of a AP biology class, and she was one of 37 37 students. Needless to say, it was organized chaos. I loved it. I wouldn't change a thing. But doing labs and lectures with 37 juniors was sometimes crazy. And my sense of calm would come by looking at Sophie. She sat in the left-hand corner of my classroom, and I would see her smile. Or maybe I would see this quizzical look on her face, and I would know, okay, we're going to have to go back and talk about that standard. We didn't get that, because where Sophie went, the rest of the class went. And she is like a breath of fresh air. You are, Sophie. If I take a breath in and breathe out, that is the effect you have on me and my classroom. It's going to be okay because you're getting it. You always put in that extra effort. You're the reason that I'm old as dirt, and it's the reason I keep teaching. It's because I have students like you, Sophie, and that is the truth. You mean so much to me. You mean so much to all the teachers, but also to your fellow classmates. You actually see people. You see the diversity. You see the variation, and you know how important that is, especially to an educational environment that's going to have impact on the world. And you just embrace it all. All of your fellow classmates love you. All of your teachers love you because what you brought to Forest View. Again, you embrace the differences, and that's what's going to make us a better place. You have had a lasting impression on me. You are leaving a lasting impression on Forest View. You are leaving a lasting impression on your classmates. And because of you, I truly have so much hope for the future. You and the 2020 graduates, you guys are going to make it okay. And I know that because I know you and I know what you're going to do. So you just continue that path. You continue striving. You go out into the world and do what I know you can do. And I'm going to stay at Forest View and do my thing because you inspire me. And you will always inspire me. So I thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. And I'm going to stop because I'm going to cry. Thank you.
The star student from South Point High School is Kevin Lee. He plans to attend Columbia University to major in economics and applied mathematics. His star teacher is Janice Miller, who teaches calculus and pre-calculus at South Point High School.
My name is Kevin Lee, and I am the star student from South Point High School. My star teacher is Dr. Miller. Understated. That is the word that comes into my mind when I think about Dr. Miller. Her lectures are not melodramatic, yet engaging. Her tone of voice is never stern, yet commanding. Her accolades are many. However, she seldom mentions any of her awards or recognitions, although she is certainly deserving. Yet her intelligence, passion, and a certain subtle charisma lead students to naturally gravitate towards her and has established an almost cult-like following. Obviously, Dr. Miller is smart. Receiving a doctorate is no easy accomplishment. Sometimes my fellow classmates and I just like to pick through Dr. Miller's brain, curious about what precious gems of knowledge we will discover through a simple conversation. After all, it's not every day you can ask a teacher about the intricacies of writing a PhD dissertation or what a Fourier analysis entails. Yet she never flaunts her intelligence. She is precisely an amazing teacher because she can connect so effectively with us. Mathematics, especially in its higher level incarnations, is abstract and conceptual. However, Dr. Miller's ability to transform complex concepts into tangible and accessible material is unparalleled. Dr. Miller, like the mathematical magician she is, dazzles us with her dizzying arithmetic trick and head-spinning logical deductions before she pauses for the greatest reveal of all. We could, and through practice, will be wizards of these dark arts ourselves. Dr. Miller's greatest virtue is her patience. She excels because she knows that teaching and learning are not instantaneous affairs. Dr. Miller will explain a single problem to her class an infinite number of times, each time adjusting or clarifying based on the level of understanding, while never expressing frustration or futility. She never expects perfection, but she earnestly emphasizes continuous improvement. Dr. Miller is one of the most genuine humans I know. While she never lavishes compliments or excessively extols one's success, she is continually encouraging and supportive. We all crave validation from people we respect, and with Dr. Miller, that means a short affirmative nod or a simple blue smiley face on the top right side of one's test paper. If I need someone to talk truthfully with, I know I can rely on Dr. Miller's honest and unembellished opinion. Her former students have been known to seriously joke about how we don't ever want to take a college math course that's not taught by Dr. Miller. While that sadly will not be feasible, it goes to show the large and almost unquantifiable impact she has had on us all. Under her tutelage, I have overcome some worthy challenges and received many stimulating opportunities. One could even say to infinity and beyond. I can personally credit Dr. Miller for spurring me to rediscover a love for mathematics and inspiring me to explore applied mathematics and econometrics as future career options. Her impressive intellect, dedicated teaching, and quiet tenacity has continuously shown through in her 16 years of service at South Point High School. I believe the award of Star Teacher is an apt description of the impact Dr. Miller has had on me. A star can guide a wayward navigator through the darkest of nights, stormiest of seas, and fearsomest of waves. Dr. Miller is that steady, bright light that has illuminated a path forward in mathematics for me, and for that, I will be forever grateful. Thank you.
Oh, Kevin, you've got me crying here. I was fortunate to teach Kevin Lee for 3 classes during his sophomore and junior years. He is the most highly motivated and hardworking student I have ever taught. Columbia is lucky to have you. We were both thrilled when Kevin was chosen to attend the North Carolina Governor's School in Mathematics last summer. There, he learned about set theory and eigenvectors, which are even harder than they sound. In the classroom, he excels at figuring out challenging problems. Students usually checked their classwork answers with him rather than me. Kevin has a meticulous approach to everything that he does. During each test or quiz, I would slip him an extra sheet of blank paper because he loves to double check every single answer. He's the only student I've ever had to make a perfect score on the pre-calculus state test, and he followed that up with a whopping 5 on the AP Calculus BC test, the hardest AP test in my opinion. The faculty at South Point is awed by Kevin's intellect and his ambition, and we also laugh out loud at his wry humor. For these reasons, he is known by Professor Lee in the math department. We fully expect to see him in Stockholm someday, accepting a Nobel Prize. He is one of the best students that I have ever taught in my 27 years in the classroom. I'm going to miss him terribly, and I feel incredibly lucky to have been his teacher. Thank you so much, Kevin.
Thank you, Dr. Miller.
The star student from Hunter Huss High School is Henry Taylor. He plans to attend UNC Chapel Hill to major in biology. His star teacher is Carrie Baskett, who teaches English at Hunter Huss High School.
Hello, my name is Henry Taylor, and I'm very thankful for this honor. And I'd like to tell you about my experience with my star teacher, Mrs. Baskett. Dear Mrs. Baskett, I chose you as my star teacher because of your dedication and passion to teach English to high school students. I first knew of you because my older sisters had you as their English teacher in high school. I have had the pleasure of having you not once, but 2 years in a row for AP English 11 and 12. You were an accomplished and highly qualified high school teacher and have been educating students for more than 17 years. My favorite thing about your class is that you always make sure that I truly understand what we are learning, whether it be vocabulary, how to write a specific essay, or when we are reading a novel. I also like how you shared information about your life and family, especially your daughter, with the class because it allows me to feel comfortable and open up during class. Your Canadian accent is fun, and I like the way you say certain words. It always seems that you are in a good mood, which motivates me to engage in class discussions. I appreciate the time and hard work you put forth every day. Thank you, Mrs. Baskett, for your contribution to me and other students at Hunter Huss. You have greatly impacted my life and helped me become a better writer, analyzer, and prepared me for college-level English courses. Thank you for being my star teacher.
Thank you, Henry. I also first heard about you before I ever met you. I first heard about Henry Harris Taylor a few years before he had ever set foot inside of Hunter Huss High School. You see, Henry is the baby of his family. He has two older sisters who I've also had the privilege of teaching, and they both told me the same thing whenever I would commend them on their academics. Just wait until you teach our brothers. And thus began Henry's legacy, his reputation that preceded him prior to ever actually sitting in my classroom. A few years later, there he sat, an unassuming junior, exuding a quiet confidence that I myself envied. Henry's academics have always been as close to an AP teacher's dreams as they can get. His insight and perception, paired with his undeniable work ethic, is exemplary. I have been very blessed to have taught Henry for 2 consecutive years. This year, now much more of a young man than a boy, Henry has continued to live up to his legacy. What has always struck me about him is his unpretentious modesty. I distinctly remember watching Henry compete in a 3-plate contest at our last pep rally, and true to his nature, he stepped up to the line with that quiet, unassuming confidence, and my jaw dropped as he swished basket after basket after basket. I forgot to mention that not only is Henry our valedictorian, he's also a 3-sport student athlete. As surprising as that performance was, the biggest shock that Henry has ever sprung on me was the day he walked in and told me that he had chosen me as his star teacher. In my mind, Henry Harris Taylor walked into my classroom basically perfect, and if I was able to teach him even one skill that he didn't already possess, well, then that makes me very happy and extremely proud. Congratulations, Henry. Your legacy will live on long after the echo of your footsteps fade from the halls of Hunter Huss High School.
Thank you very much.
The star student from Webb Street School is Grant Powell. He plans to continue his education and join the workforce after graduation. His star teacher is Susie Rutherford, who teaches functional academics and communication, independent living, and vocational training at Webb Street School.
Miss Susie Miller is my star teacher because she is helping me find a job and because she is special and a hard worker. She is hard worker because her desk is full of papers and she is always working. Webb Street, she wants me to have a job when I leave Webb Street School. Miss Susie helps me to work at Publix grocery store. I help customers take their groceries to the car. I am learning lots of new things and really like working with the bakery, and I like working with the butcher. I also like bagging and stocking food. I also like to stock shoes and sensors on shoes. Miss Susie makes me happy and excellent when we talk about working. She has really helped me research job. I might like to have done research on the computer. I know she will going to cry when I graduate from Webb Street School.
Grant, thank you so much for those words. You confirm everything that I do every day. But can I talk a little bit about you and why I think you're a star student, why I know that you're a star student? Maybe it's your magnetic personality that lifts my spirits and everybody else's, usually when our spirits really need to be lifted. Maybe it's your courage that you face any challenge, when you face any challenge, such as moving to a new city, going to a new school your senior year, and you met that challenge head on. You became a leader in the school for your peers on and off campus. That leadership has continued as we've been remote learning. You have gotten on Zoom and you get encouraging other students to participate. And that happened at school, and I'm sure that's going to continue to happen after school. It's your loyalty to your family and your friends and your school. We won't talk about the red color. We're going to talk about the Carolina blue color, right? Right? Okay. You're kind and caring and compassionate. There's not a day that goes by that Grant doesn't see something that someone needs, and he always tries to fulfill that need no matter what it is. It's all these things that make you a star student, plus your desire to succeed, that allow me to easily guide you on that path. I think you said in your essay to find a job that you like, and that's what I'm supposed to do. It makes it easy to be excited and happy talking about work to someone that's excited and happy to learn about working, and that's you, Grant. I'm truly honored to be your teacher, your tour guide on what you can achieve in the future. Your possibilities are endless. But let me end by saying something. I truly have felt a little cheated that I did not get a full year with you, Grant, due to the unusual circumstances in which we're living. That makes this graduation even more bittersweet than previous years. See, you knew I was going to cry. I'm excited for your future, but saddened that I will not be on that front line to support you on your journey. Thank you for not only being my student, but for being my teacher as well. I have learned so much from you.
The star student from the Highland School of Technology is Uriel Musey. He plans to attend UNC Chapel Hill to major in biomedical engineering and public health. His star teacher is Bobby Padgett. Mr. Padgett teaches chemistry and environmental science at the Highland School of Technology.
First of all, thank you guys for having me. I really appreciate it. And so for my star teacher, I had Mr. Padgett. And so this is my speech. You know, I can recall the first time I saw Mr. Padgett. It was my sophomore year at Highland, and it was actually on Halloween. I was walking to class with a friend who was a senior at the time, and I saw a teacher dressed up as the character Rick from Rick and Morty. I asked him, like, who is that? And he said, oh, that's just Mr. Padgett. He left it at that, like that was the only justification needed to describe who Mr. Padgett was. And for those who don't know, for context, Rick is a mad scientist, a cartoon character, with spiky blue hair and a large lab coat, which is all the more reason to stand out. It wouldn't be until my fall semester of my junior year that I would first have Mr. Padgett as a teacher. And, you know, based on my first previous encounter on Halloween, I knew that I was in for a treat for the semester. Mr. Padgett is the chemistry teacher here at Highland and is undoubtedly one of the smartest men I know. And if you don't believe me, you can watch his Jeopardy episode where he won $19,000 and a trip to Mexico. As a teacher, you know, Mr. Padgett has never failed to keep his lessons not only engaging, but exciting, always relating what we learned to the real world and showing us practical applications of our knowledge. His dedication to his students is uncanny, as he's always there for his students, no matter the situation. So, you know, he stays hours after schools just to ensure his students' comprehension in the subject material, such about being positive about the charge of a proton. You know, he would also spend countless hours a day grading our assignments just so that we'd have them the next day as a resource to study for the next test or quiz, which, you know, which sometimes came at the expense due to his handwriting, not being able to tell the difference between good job or the element germanium. But, you know, I also took AP chemistry during my junior spring semester. Fortunately, I was able to take it with Mr. Padgett. But, you know, unfortunately, if, you know, the name wasn't any indication, it was pretty hard because it was AP chemistry. You know, all in all, Mr. Padgett has easily been one of the best teachers, that I've ever had, at Highland Elementary School, middle school, wherever it may be. But more importantly, Mr. Padgett has been a great mentor for me. From all our talks after school, ranging in topics from college, which I'll be attending the University of North Carolina, just like Mr. Padgett, all the way to the TV show, The Big Bang Theory. I've learned more about life than in the classroom than with our talks at Mr. Padgett. I'm forever grateful for you, Mr. Padgett, and will be lucky to encounter not only another teacher like you, but another person like you. So, Mr. Padgett, I thank you for being such a great teacher and a mentor, and for being my star teacher.
Thank you. I want to begin by thanking Yuri for recognizing me as his star teacher. Knowing all the talented, dedicated professionals that Yuri studied under during his high school career at Highland, I had a difficult time finding the words to describe just how much this honor means to me. A high school teacher meets hundreds of students every year, and there is always a select group who stand head and shoulders above their peers. Yuri is assuredly a star in that special company. He may seem brash on the surface, but explore a little deeper, and you will find a wealth of intelligence, personality, and talent that gives Yuri the utmost confidence that he can achieve any goal he sets for himself. Yuri was my top student in Chemistry 1 honors and was neck and neck for being the top student in AP Chemistry 2. Had I been able to wait until AP exam scores were posted, he would have received both awards. Beyond his obvious academic success, what more can I say about a student like Yuri? I mean, here's a student who won the Mr. Highland pageant whose talent was debate. And I truly mean that. Yuri's gift of gab is legendary at Highland. From involvement in student government to persuading a teacher to extend an assignment deadline a day or two, he is a powerful and charismatic speaker. I know Yuri's future plans involve studying science, and I hope that I have inspired him somewhat in that direction. However, his gen ed professor should watch out if he ever takes a political science course, because I could easily see Yuri following in the footsteps of Barack Obama all the way to the Oval Office. In conclusion, I can't thank Yuri enough for selecting me for this honor. I wish him the best for his future studies and successes, and I cannot wait to see where his path takes him. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Padgett. It's truly an honor being in your class.
Okay. You're that, every teacher loves to get that student like you that you're always on your toes, just having to keep ahead of them. But at the end of the day, you can just have those real world life discussions. And it's going to be something missed when you're gone next year.
Exactly. That's what makes the class in and out of the classroom really more meaningful. So I really, really do appreciate that.
Hey, my door is always open. You know that.
Thank you. Thank you.
The star student from North Gaston High School is Madison Ross. She plans to attend Catawba Valley Community College to major in psychology. Her star teacher is Lynn Murata, who teaches English at North Gaston High School.
Thanks so much for having me today. What's in Miss Murata's AP English class? That which we call an English class by any other name would be just as marvelous. Just kidding, it wouldn't be. As you might already be able to tell by the Shakespearean reference, I naturally adore English. English teachers often get stereotyped as stern, condescending individuals who love to mark papers with red pen. Miss Murata, however, has taught me that they can also be people who invite you into a wealth of knowledge that equips you to be not only a better student, but a better person. Miss Murata's class is not a good class because it's easy. Honestly, it's anything but that. Her class is good because it stretches students. Papers must be concise, class participation must be enthusiastic, and questions often need to be asked for a student to glean an A at the end of the semester. I remember when I once described my struggle with an assignment we had to my mother, who is a teacher herself. I asked her why she thought I cared so much about performing well on it. She responded, "I think she inspires you to want to do good, and that is the ultimate goal of a teacher." Miss Murata inspires me as she pours her entire heart and mind into her profession. She makes assignments in such a way that will eventually reach the visual, auditory, and even kinesthetic learner as she effectively crafts her class to prepare students for the AP exam. She doesn't like the phrase a lot, so I'll say that Miss Murata undertakes a plethora of obligations that many teachers would never consider adding to their plate. In her various leadership positions at North Gaston, she leads by example and makes ends meet with graceful expertise. I am blessed to have met someone as genuine, caring, and devoted as my star teacher, Miss Murata.
Wow. I'm so honored to be Madison's star teacher. Madison, you're such a beautiful person inside and out, and getting to know you over the last few years has been my pleasure. I've enjoyed our many conversations after class. We've had lots of talks about seeing things from a different perspective, about understanding how people's circumstances can affect so many things in their lives, and you get that. I saw you take this open-mindedness and put it into your classwork, and all of our many class discussions. You were the one who could always be counted on to really listen to everyone around you. You weren't just interested in being right, although that's a nice perk. Even in our classes, sometimes heated multiple choice debates, you were always the cooler head in the situation, validating everyone else's perspective. Your passion came shining through every time you taught my lead class this year, too. You jumped into a brand new situation and handled it with poise. You took a group of diverse freshmen and related to them and kept them involved each week, which is no small feat. You made them feel important and valued and gave them insights that I couldn't provide. I've also seen you take your passion for people and put it into action with Beta Club. You saw a need at the Boys and Girls Club locally and made sure to get your fellow Betas involved. You kept up with the Dallas Christian Ministries needs from month to month, encouraging donations and participation. I'm so proud of you and all that you've done, from Beta Club member to officer and 2 English classes together. It's been my privilege to teach you and work with you. I can't wait to see how you continue to share your warmth and compassion with the world. Thank you.
Thank you.
The star student from Stuart W. Kramer High School is Carol Greeless. She plans to attend the University of Mississippi to major in nursing. Her star teacher is Terrence Greeless. He teaches calculus and statistics at Stuart W. Kramer High School.
Thank you so much. It's an honor to represent Stuart W. Kramer as the star student, along with my dad as the star teacher. So I do feel very honored and grateful to be here today. So thank you so much, Gaston County and Stuart Kramer, for nominating me. Okay. So, again, I'm honored to have been chosen to represent Stuart W. Kramer High School as the star student for 2020. The teacher I have chosen holds very dearly to my heart. I have known this teacher for as long as I can remember, almost too long. I feel like this teacher is the most deserving person for this award. The countless hours this teacher puts into his classes and students is honorable. He will always do whatever he can to help his students, even if it means making his own children stay after school way past hours for him to help tutor students or let them make up tests. Although he probably will misplace your test in his stockpile of papers that could probably make up an entire forest because apparently desks are overrated. This teacher has helped me with more than just my education. He has taught me some valuable life lessons that I will most definitely use for the rest of my life. Most people are typically nervous when they get stuck with this teacher because of his reputation as a tough guy who also teaches the toughest classes. I, however, was not even close to being nervous. I knew this teacher as someone with a big heart who cries every time he watches It's a Wonderful Life. This teacher, who some call Mr. Greeless, I get to call Dad.
All right, I'm going to cry, I guess.
I knew he was going to cry. What do you have to say?
Well, just for that, I'm failing her. She will no longer be the star student. You'll have to come and get somebody else. No, I am very thankful to be the star teacher and to have, this student as well as many. But like I said, I'm lucky. I know what she does on and off of the court, the classroom. She puts in so much time. She's going to be successful, and I'm not just saying that because I'm her dad. But it's been interesting. Like she says, she's never nervous, but you'd figure she should be, because if there's anybody I'm going to be tough on, it's going to be my own kids. And she was she arose to all the occasions, whether it was on my volleyball team, in my calculus course, or in my stats course. And she will be successful from here on out. Thank you for choosing me.
You're welcome.
Thank you to our STAR students for sharing their heartfelt stories about these truly wonderful STAR teachers. Congratulations to all of our honorees for 2020. This is your time to shine. Before we go, we would like to express our appreciation to our high school principals and counselors for their help in organizing this program. And we would like to recognize the Gaston Gazette for their partnership with Gaston County Schools to sponsor this program again this year. And a special thank you goes to Tom Ninsetti, our Channel 21 program manager, for all of his work to make this special video presentation possible. For Channel 21, I'm Todd Higgins. Thanks so much for watching.